Long-time rivalry out of the past gets a fresh look tonight. Years ago, then USL and McNeese State locked up in a couple of different conferences. That went away when the Raging Cajuns stepped up to Division 1A. Tonight, the I-10 schools meet for only the second time in 20 years. The Cajuns and the Cowboys next on ESPN+. Welcome to the stunning Our Lady of Lourdes Stadium. A nearly full house should be on hand tonight. The Cajuns trying to wipe away the disappointment of last week's opening loss to Rice. The Cowboys looking to go 2-0 after dominating an NCAA opponent in Louisiana Christian in its opener. Hello again, everyone. I'm Dan McDonald, off my broadcast partner Eric Mouton. Ben Schaefer joins us on the sideline shortly. Eric, McNeese took advantage of really an inferior opponent last week, 54-9 over the former Louisiana College. But when you get good quarterback play, it doesn't matter who the opponent is. Jake Strong had a great debut.
Yeah, the Texas Tech transfer was plenty strong in his second college start. 22 of 28 passing for 329 yards and 3 touchdowns in less than 3 quarters. Maybe more importantly, no turnovers by the offense and scores on the first 6 possessions. He compiled a lot of numbers in a record-setting Texas high school career, and he'll be the big-time focus for the Cajun defense tonight.
That defense was solid in the opener, especially in the second half when they held Rice's option to 62 rush yards, only 6 first downs. Jaden Duggar had to fill some big shoes at middle linebacker. He definitely didn't disappoint.
Yeah, the graduated KC Osai was the do-it-all leader for the Cajuns last year, but the Pittsburgh native showed he was more than capable against Rice. A team-high 10 tackles, including 8 solo stops. He's the guy with the mic'd-up helmet and did a great job of getting his teammates lined up. He only gave up 5 10-yard plays all night. He's a big key again tonight against a more wide-open offensive style.
It is hot, it is muggy, and it is humid here in Acadiana tonight. It touched 90 degrees today. Still 86 degrees here just before kickoff, now down to only 84. But no chance of rain today. We've had college football games delayed all across the south and east today because of lightning. No chance of that tonight. It is a beautiful night for football, Eric, except for the heat. Fabrizio Penton will put a foot into it. McNeese State won the toss. They elected to defer. They'll get the ball in the second half. So the senior transfer from Illinois from the Woodlands, Texas, will kick it away deep. Robert Williams is the deep man for the Cajuns, along with Bill Davis, and that kick's going to go over on the sideline. It's going to Williams, and he's got a seam. He's at the 30. He's at midfield. One man to beat and run out of bounds right in front of the Cajun bench. In Cowboy territory, they'll put him at about the 46-yard line. Ben Schaefer on the sidelines. Ben?
Thanks, Dan. Last Saturday, Cajuns fans had a scare when star transfer quarterback Walker Howard went down with a non-contact injury. While he was able to walk off the field, he did not return in that game and is going to be out for the foreseeable future. All that to be said, right now, quarterback is the Daniel Beal show for the Raging Cajuns. And while fans may not be familiar with him, head coach for McNeese, Matt Viator, is. As when he was the Cajuns quarterback coach, he helped recruit Beal and helped coach him during his early days with the program. Talking to Coach Viator earlier this week, he said that Daniel Beal is a stud, and he's not underestimating him. Dan, Eric, back to you guys.
And he knows who to get the ball to. Zylan Perry picks his way through defenders, breaks a couple of tackles, and he's all the way down inside the 20. And there's a Cowboy down on the field. And that helps when you've got that new quarterback, Eric, when you can hand it to a running back and get something like that.
No doubt the big play by special teams on the kick return gives them great field position, and that's what Coach Des wants this week. Not enough big plays. He talked about it earlier in the week. Not enough big plays last week, and Zylan Perry with a huge run right there to start this game on the first play from scrimmage.
And this is not a good thing for McNeese. Macy
Head up, brings your clear.
The bandit defensive end, and a good one, product of Bro Bridge. He is on the field being attended to. Get another look at the run, see if we can see what happened. But Perry did a great job of finding a seam, going back, cutting back the other way, and getting all the way down to the 20-yard line.
Yeah, and you love to see yards after first contact. Broke a number of tackles And that'll be another key for the Louisiana defense when they get on the field. Last week in the first half, just too many missed tackles.
And good news for the Cowboys, Macy Lewis able to get up and walk off. So we'll hope he's all right, hope he'll be back. But right now the Cajuns have it inside the 20, 1st and 10 after only one offensive snap. Daniel Beal making his first start, the product of Catholic High Baton Rouge. He'll go to Perry one more time. He'll pick up about 3 down to the 15.
And off goes to number 3, Silent Perry. Pick up a 3.
Keenan Landry, the senior nose tackle from Jennings. As you would expect, awful lot of players from Acadiana on both of these teams. Cowboys have a lot of new faces in Coach Matt Viator's return to the sidelines. After a decade of being away, he is already the winningest coach in McNeese history before he ever stepped back on the sidelines this year. Beal on the roll right on the counter action, and that throws a little bit behind Perry. Incomplete. It will be 3rd and long for Louisiana. Amari Sibley was the guy over there in coverage, but pass just thrown a little behind him.
Yeah, pretty good coverage from McNeese also. They had a deep route as well, giving Beal the option of looking at someone in the end zone. As you can see, he's well covered deep. Tries to go underneath the sideline, throws it a little bit behind Perry.
3rd and 8. Red zone appearance for Louisiana. They did not have any of those last week against Rice. As Beal, he'll throw a quick strike over the middle. That's going to be complete inside the 10.
Pass complete to number 0.
Pass is complete to Robert Williams, who had that kickoff return just a minute ago to set this up. Javon Davis, senior from River Ridge, and John Curtis, preseason 2nd team all-conference, makes the tackle. But the Cajuns knocking on the door already. They're at the Cowboys 6.
Good route and a good throw right there. Gets right in front of the defensive back. Big target, shows him his number. Beal with a nice throw. Now we got a little Wildcat here.
Lutz Whitfield is the quarterback. The redshirt sophomore from Lutcher. We expected we would see him some in run situations. He'll hand it off to Bill Davis. Davis is going to go through the middle. He breaks an arm tackle, and he's in the end zone for a Cajun touchdown. They call him the Bulldozer for good reason. Last year, 796 yards, 9 touchdowns. He led the team. He's got his first touchdown of the year.
Yeah, it's great to have 2 backs that are really effective. Strong guys that can carry the load, but when you can get them a break, especially on humid nights like tonight, and I know Coach Dez is looking for those 2 guys to carry the load tonight and let Beal get comfortable as the new starter.
46 yards and 5 plays for the touchdown. Tony Sterner, who had a couple of long field goals in his debut last week, on for the kick out of the hold of Hunter Sims, and it's up and good. 12:58 left in the first quarter. Cajuns up early by a score of 7-0. McNeese State's under the leadership once again of our friend Matt Viator in his 10th season as head coach, but his first in his second stint. 3-time Southland Conference Coach of the Year, National Coach of the Year finalist twice, 2-time Louisiana Coach of the Year. He took the Cowboys to 5 NCAA tournaments. He was inducted into the McNeese Hall of Fame back in 2021. And for 3 years, between 2021 and 2023, he was on the Cajun staff as a special assistant, both to then head coach Billy Napier and now head coach Michael Desermo. It'll be Logan Klotz to kick it away. Jonathan Harris is one of the deep guys. He takes it in the corner, evades some tackles, still going, but good pursuit by the guys in red jerseys that time. He'll be stopped just a little bit shy of the 20-yard line. And that's one thing. The Cowboys didn't get to do a lot of work, Eric, last week on the kickoff return game because, well, they only gave up the 3 points. Only 2 kickoffs. Tackle by the Cajuns. Drennan Fight III, the junior from Tatum, Texas, in there to make the stop on special teams. And we get our first look at Jake Strong. Boy, what a big game he had last week. 22 out of 28 for 329 yards and 3 touchdowns. Against Louisiana Christians, he also ran for 26 yards. He'll take the snap, quick pop over the middle, and that one's going to be complete. This is going to be for big yardage. That's Josh Jackson. He is still going. He's at the 30. He is brought down from behind all the way down to the 25-yard line. So Strong picking up right where he left off. Trey Tomlinson saved a touchdown with the shoestring tackle, but Josh Jackson, who had 4 catches for 62 yards, he's got his longest catch of the year.
And a big play for McNeese right there. Nice throw right on the money. The play action froze the linebackers, and he's able to get by his man right there, get open right in front of Tomlinson. And a shoestring tackle to save the touchdown.
Empty backfield for Strong as he's back to throw. He'll throw over the middle, complete again.
Same target.
Inside the 15, down to just outside the 10-yard line. Tyree Skipper there is to make the stop, but Josh Jackson has already got half of the receptions he had last week in the opener. Product of New Orleans out of St. Augustine High School. Transfer from UAB.
Strong doing a nice job of being a little patient, letting him get to his spot, that open area right in the heart of the field. 2 big completions right there, and McNeese knocking on the door.
He's got Trevante Citizen in the backfield. High snap, Citizen, now he trips over Strong's foot that time. A tough break in the backfield, and that's going to lose a couple of yards. Chase Edwards was the closest guy for the Cajuns, redshirt sophomore from Houston. But that's just a trip up in the backfield. So 2nd down and long, 2nd and 12. McNeese in the white jerseys, the gold pants, blue trim. Cajuns in the red with the white trim. Strong will roll out to throw. He's got some time, throws over the middle, and making the catch inside the 5, twisting inside. That's going to be enough for another first down. Logan Malden, the big tight end, 230-pound junior from Charlotte, North Carolina, who played against the Cajuns before at Coastal Carolina. Jordan Lawson made the tackle, but not before the Cowboys. Actually, it's short of a first down. It's going to be 3rd and a short 1 from the 2-yard line. And now the Cowboys going with a little wildcat formation. Devin Lippold is now the quarterback. He'll take the snap. He's going to roll out to the right. He's got some running room, powers his way in, and he is in for the touchdown. The redshirt freshman from Houston gets his first touchdown of the year. Had a couple of scores last year in short yardage. And the Cowboys an extra point away from tying it up as Penton will be lined up for the extra point. 80 yards, only 5 plays as the Cowboys get the answering score.
Yeah, and what a big answer. All the momentum for Louisiana. And Strong does a nice job of leading them right down the field and then into the end zone with the Wildcat extra point up.
And that hits the crossbar but bounces through. Little cue shot will tie it up. 10:08 left in the first quarter. Louisiana 7, McNeese 7. Michael Nesrimo in his 4th year as head coach of the Raging Cajuns, taking over just before the 2021 New Orleans Bowl. 40-year-old native of New Iberia, played for the Cajuns from 2005 to 08. He still remains number 6 in Cajun history in total offense. He counted for 6,700 yards and 39 touchdowns. Had 8 times his career. He had 100 yards rushing and passing in the same game. And Eric, he's got a couple of familiar faces on the sideline. Tim Leger actually coached at McNeese and also coached with Coach Viator up at ULM. And Scott Stoker, the Cajuns inside linebacker coach, coached at McNeese from 2014, or rather 94 to 2001, was there for 8 years.
Yeah, no doubt those two guys. Coach Dez had a chance to work with him at Ascension, and then I also worked with Tim Leger at St. Thomas More. We were assistant coaches there together. He was for Jim Hightower, the legend, and I was working for Danny Broussard, the other legend. So two really good guys on the sideline on the offensive side of the ball for Louisiana.
Penton will put a foot into it again. This time Williams tripped up as he gets close to the 25-yard line. Had that big return last time. This time Cajuns will take over just inside their own 25. Second possession for both of these two teams. Jelani Chevalier was there to make the tackle for the Cowboys. And Daniel Beal with his second offensive possession. His first possession as a starter. Cajuns drove for a touchdown, 46 yards. Only took them 5 plays to do that. Both teams with 5-play scoring drives to start this one off. Beal looking to throw under some pressure. Now he'll flip it out here to Davis. Davis will be over the 25, out close to the 30-yard line before he is run out of bounds.
Pickup of 6, 2nd and 4.
Mason Edwards is there to make the stop, junior from Denham Springs. Had 4 tackles last week against Louisiana Christian.
And that's a nice play by Beal, extending that play. You know Coach Viator is going to come with a little pressure when he gets the opportunity to do that. He steps up in the pocket, safety valve right there, dumps it for a nice gain on first down.
Officially 6 yards on the gain. It will be 2nd and a long 4. Motion as B will hand it off again. He finds a seam. And once again, it's Bill Davis.
To the play is another Louisiana.
Markel Price there to make the tackle. Transfer from Nichols, but not before Davis picks up enough yardage to secure the first down.
Nice job by the offensive line. You saw a red jersey matched up with a white one. They did a nice job of containing those guys, pushing them back, opening up a lane there for Davis.
Once again, Davis will get the call. Going wide the right side. He's got some running room. He's at the 45. He's over midfield. Finally run out of bounds at about the Cowboy 43-yard line. And so far, Eric, Cajun running backs have been able to get a lot more running room than they did last week.
Yeah, no doubt. That's huge. And he's able to seal. Nice kick and block right there. Lets him get to the outside. And both of these backs have home run speed. If they get going and they can get in the open field, they're going to be tough to track down.
Javon Davis, the leading returning tackler for the Cowboys from last year, again in on the stop, but not before Davis picks up another first down. Beal with the fake. Now he's going to roll to his right. He's going to keep it himself. He's going to get tackled right at the sideline, right at the line of scrimmage. Good pursuit that time by Imari Sibley, the product of Zachary, who played his first 2 college years in the Sun Belt Conference at South Alabama.
Good coverage that time. I think he wanted to go with a quick release, hit somebody right off the line of scrimmage. They weren't open. He didn't force it, tried to get something with his legs, but we'll play 2nd and long here.
From the 43, trying to pick his way forward. That's Zylan Perry who's back in. He'll only pick up a couple. Cajuns are going to face a 3rd and long. They've converted their only 3rd down so far tonight. Markel Price and Landon Barrett, product of Tallahassee, who had 6 tackles last week against Louisiana Christian. He's there on the stop. So a 3rd and long for Louisiana.
Let's see if they dial up some pressure here and put a little pressure on the young quarterback in his first start on a 3rd and long.
Robertson is in the slot and Beal back to throw. He's going to throw it long, looking deep downfield
Flag.
for Wade. There's a flag in the backfield. Pass was overthrown. Don't know if it was a late hit or did we have a hold back in the backfield. We will wait and let our referee, Marshall Lewis, let us know. Lewis out of the Sun Belt Conference, as is this crew.
Personal foul, hands to the face, defense number 90, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
That's a big penalty on Keenan Landry, the nose tackle. That's going to give the Cajuns a first down after they were unable to convert on the 3rd and long. A little bit too over-aggressive. And got the hands up in the face. So a break for the Raging Cajun squad. They'll take it down to about the 26-yard line, where Beal has Davis in the backfield with him. A pop and go as he's looking on the sideline. And to tell you what, that was really well defended that time. Marquell Price, the Thibodaux native out of Nichols, played 18 games for the Colonels before transferring. He was draped all over the receiver. Really good coverage.
Yeah, Coach Dez trying to get him on 1st and 10, taking a shot right there, seeing if Sampson can get open. Sampson Jr. had a couple of drops last week. I know Coach Dez wants to get him involved early and often in this one.
Sampson had 4 catches last week, but he was targeted 12 times. Beal's going to flip it out here on the side to Williams. He's going to get inside the 20. He is going to be close to the first down. Price and Davis combined on the tackle. And Williams is still on the turf, and he is in some pain.
Yeah, grabbing that right knee, man, that's not a good sign. Sampson Jr. actually with a nice block right there on what looked like a little bit of a bubble screen, and he is in some pain.
Timeout for an injured player. Timeout on the field.
We'll take a break while they tend to Robert Williams. 6:42 left in the first quarter. We're all tied at 7. This is the 39th all-time meeting between these two teams, but the first since 2016, only the third since 1986. Before that, the teams had played in 36 straight years from 1951 to 1986. Last time these teams played, back September 10th, 2016, almost 9 years ago to the day, Cajuns took a 30-22 win here at Cajun Field. Here they've got a third and about 1.5 yards. And Beal will be back to throw. He will throw it over to the middle and hanging on to the pass, just barely, Raji Dennis, the redshirt freshman from Edna Carr, New Orleans, had some running room. Pass was a little high, but he was able to drag it in and pick up a first down for the Cajuns.
Boy, that's a great catch. Goes up and gets it, makes a play for his quarterback right there. You're right, he did have the option. Maybe could have sprinted to the sideline and picked up that first down, but Beal decides to let it go. Dennis makes a great catch for the first down.
If anybody could have sprinted, he was state champion in both 100 and 200 in high school.
Oh, nothing.
This time, nowhere to be found that time. As Davis is snowed under right in the middle of the McNeese defensive front. That's A.J. Thomas. He plays the Wolf defensive end. 230-pound sophomore from Zachary, transfer from Tulane. And they just closed up the middle that time.
Yeah, unblocked right there on the edge.
Good news for Cajun fans. Robert Williams was able to walk off under his own power. A little gimpy. We'll have to keep an eye on him as Beal back to throw. He'll hurry one over here inside the 15, making the diving catch. That pass is complete to Brock Chappell, the junior tight end, transfer from Furman, making his first catch of the year.
3rd and 9.
I'll set up another 3rd and long for Louisiana. 3rd and 9 from the 14. Last time they had a 3rd and long, misfired, but a Cowboy penalty gave them a first down. Motion man as Beal's back to throw. Now he scrambles looking for a receiver. That's over the middle, but hit well short of the first down. The completion goes to Robertson. Marquell Price is there to make the stop, but it's going to be a 4th and 5. Cajuns will bring on the field goal unit. That means Tony Sterner, the transfer from Incarnate Word, 2 for 2 last week. Hit from 47 and 51. He is the reigning Sun Belt Conference Special Teams Player of the Week. He's got a foot into this one, and it is no good, wide to the left. So Sterner, who hit 2 long ones last week, can't convert here from close range. 28-yard field goal sails wide. And the Cowboys hold in the red zone. Good number of blue shirts in the crowd tonight, as you would expect. Lake Charles campus, only about an hour down I-10. And a lot of red also enjoying the new digs here at Our Lady of Orange Stadium. And a lot of people, Eric, on the hillsides tonight, up in the grass burns down there. So 1st and 10 for the Cowboys at the 20. And Strong back to throw again. He'll lob it out here on the left side. That time not much running room.
Strong's pass complete to number 7.
As Citizen makes a catch. Portland Flowers is there to run him out of bounds after a gain of about 2. Trevante Citizen made the catch there, native of Lake Charles, coming out of Lake Charles College Prep. And yes, if that name sounds familiar, his dad, Tony, McNeese Hall of Famer. In the late 80s, he still holds the team's freshman rushing record for rushing yards in a single game. Strong's going to keep it himself, and he is shoestring tackled, and he had a little bit of running room after the fake.
Quarterback keeper by number 4, Jake Strong.
Jake St. Andre, the Will side linebacker, makes a shoestring tackle, but but not before Strong gets it to a manageable third down.
A little zone read right there. Strong pulls it and runs. St. Andre with a nice tackle right there because there was a lot of turf in front of Strong right there.
3rd and 3. Strong has Citizen in the backfield. And he'll bring Harris in motion. Back to throw, throws over the middle. It's complete. It'll be enough for a first down. Diving catch by Josh Jackson, who had the long reception on the first drive. Portland Flowers makes the tackle, but not for the Cowboys. Pick up their 4th first down of the ballgame.
A little play action waggle to his right and a nice throw. And you can see Jackson with a nice route too, coming right in front of the D-back right there. Flowers to make that catch for the first down. Move the chains.
1st and 10 at the 35. Citizen again joins Strong. Pass is going to be out to the side. Oh, almost with a big-time play. Brent Gordon Jr., the freshman from Breaux Bridge who played at Cecilia High School, got a hand on it. If he'd been able to get another hand, it might have gone to the house the other way.
Yeah, jumped that route, threw it to the inside of his receiver. Strong that time. Lucky that was not picked off.
Tried to get it to Jackson again. Looked like he almost took something off of that one. Trying to get it out to him. Handoff is to Citizen. No, check that. That's going to be Bryce Strong in the backfield, the junior transfer from Riverside Community College. And by the way, no relation between the Bryce Strong, the running back, and Jake Strong, the quarterback. Jaden Duggar, we talked about him in the pregame, makes his first tackle, and it's a 3rd and long. Cowboys try to go with a little pace, and now Strong will slow things down.
Salgado may come with some pressure here. He's got 6 or 7 guys at the line. Let's see if he blitzes this obvious throwing down. Trips left for Strong and a timeout, McNeese.
Cowboys will take a timeout to take a look at this one.
First charge timeout, McNeese State. This will be a 30-second timeout.
They'll have the 3rd and 10 from about the 35-yard line. Impressive offensive performance by both of these teams in their first possession. Only taking 5 plays to each of them score a touchdown.
Yeah, and a win for McNeese defense, I believe, on that last drive, because it looked like they were Louisiana was going to get points out of that, and the missed field goal, they come up empty.
These teams have been playing for a long time. One of those games back in 1984. Cowboys scored a couple late touchdowns in that 1984 game that was played at Cowboy Stadium in Lake Charles. Won that one by a score of 30-17. Don Wallace playing quarterback for the Cajuns. Patrick Broussard, one of the all-time leading kick scorers for Louisiana, had a field goal in that game, but the Cowboys had the late touchdowns. A couple of circus catches and a field goal also by the Cowboys in that win. 3rd and 10 from the 35. Citizen in the backfield was Strong. He's back to throw. He'll throw it out to the left side and nobody there. Mistaken communications.
Pass falls incomplete.
He was looking for Jesse Campbell, the senior from California. Portland Flowers was the closest guy, but I think Strong and Campbell on a little bit different page.
And a little pressure from the front 4. No blitz, but they're able to get pressure with 4. I think they forced him to throw that one a little earlier than he wanted to.
Fabrizio Penton, yes, he also handles the punt duties. He handles all the kicking for the Cowboys. Back to kick. Only had 1 punt last week, went for 38 yards. All out rush. But he gets it away, and this is a high hanger. Williams is going to call for the fair catch. It hits off the helmet of one of the Cajuns, but fortunately it rolls out of bounds for big break for Louisiana.
Gordon Jr.'s helmet, yes.
First and 10 for Louisiana.
Hit right off the helmet of Brent Gordon.
He came in front to try to block, never saw the ball, hit his helmet, and boy, they are lucky to maintain. Watch it hit him. Right there, yes. Well, they're lucky that went out of bounds, too, because look at the white jerseys chasing it down.
It rolls out of bounds at about the 7-yard line. Louisiana will start deep in their own end of the field with just a little bit over a minute left here in the first quarter.
Both defenses get stops, and now the break for McNeese will put Louisiana deep in their own territory.
Beal has Perry in the backfield. Perry will get the call. Got a little running room, but then a shoestring tackle by Barrett, the middle linebacker from Tallahassee, Florida. And he'll hold him to about a 2-yard gain. Perry had 46 yards rushing, also had a reception last week against the Rice Owls. Bill Davis had 58 yards, so between the two Cajun running backs, they did have a 100-yard game. For an offense that pretty much struggled a lot in the opener against the Owls. The center, Cooper Fordham, calling some signals. Quick out, and that's incomplete. And this time it was the Cowboys that had a shot at it. Shoes Brinkley, the product of Philadelphia, was there close by.
A lot of contact on the Louisiana receiver right there. No flag. Just trying with a little quick release to hit that quick slant. Incomplete. 3rd and long. 3rd and 8 here for Louisiana.
Davis is the running back behind Beal. 3 receivers to the near side. And now the tight end going in motion as Beal's going to go that way. Throws it to the tight end. Complete to Jensen, but he's going to be well short of the first down. The Cajuns will have to punt it away. Morris Taylor, freshman from Houston, first year with the Cowboy program, makes the tackle. Pickup of only about 3 yards.
Yeah, and a lot more solid tackling this last couple of possessions from McNeese.
And that's going to end our first quarter play. Cajuns will be punting it away when we return. 1 in the books here at Our Lady of Lords Stadium. Louisiana 7, McNeese 7. Last week's win over Louisiana Christian made Coach Todd Viator the winningest, Matt Viator, the winningest coach in McNeese history. He and Bobby Kiesler both had 78 wins going into last week, so his number 79 also made him number 3 all-time in Southland Conference history in his 19th year at the school. He also has won 50. He's gone 54-18 in Southland Conference games while with the Cowboys. Nathan Torney, the 27-year-old from Kyabram, Australia, toes it away, and there's a flag down, a couple flags already flying, and there's some action on the sidelines. There were some players going at it in out-of-bounds territory, and yeah, well, this is still going. There's somebody in a red jersey that is really hot.
His number's at 8. Yeah, it's Jackson.
Don't know what provoked that, but he was really hot. He was linked up with one of the Cowboys on the sideline, and a couple of flags came in very early in that return, and they're throwing the flag back at about the 41-yard line.
Yeah, they ran him to the sideline right there. You can see him trying to explain it. And they started pushing and shoving, a couple of punches thrown.
Personal foul, receiving team for kicking a player who was already out of bounds. Half the distance from the end of the kick. First down.
I'll tell you what, the side judge on that side, Andrew Bolognese, was very demonstrative in explaining the call. I guess explaining might be a little bit too tame a word, because he was having some words with one of the Cowboy assistant coaches.
Correction. Penalty's 15 yards from the end of the kick.
So another big 15-yard penalty will set the Cowboys back after they had a chance at having really good field position. They'll now start it back at their own 31-yard line. Check that, make it the 30-yard line. We'll have to see if we have a look at what happened on the way down the field, but Cajun defender Cody Jackson was very upset with the play, but we'll go back to play. Handoff on the right side. Finding a little room is Bryce Strong, the junior transfer from California and Riverside Community College. Marion Eliam, the sophomore from Monroe and Neville High School, is there to make the stop. Eliam earned a scholarship in the preseason. Makes the tackle, but not before Strong picks up about 7 yards. 39 yards rushing and a touchdown last week against Louisiana Christian. So second and short. Strong can open up the playbook. He'll hand it off again. A little stutter step, powering forward, and going to be stopped at just short of a first down. It's going to be Strong once again. He ran into the arms of Jordan Lawson, the redshirt senior from Brandon, Mississippi, who's on the Senior Bowl watch and the Nagurski Trophy watch list after a solid junior year last year.
High snap that time to Strong. He does a good job of corralling it and getting it to his running back. Now we're third and short here. 3:40 to play in the second.
One yard to go. Strong has Strong in the backfield. Strong gets the carry, and he is hit right at the line of scrimmage, and it's going to depend on the spot.
And up goes number 2, Bryce Strong.
Caleb Caboti was there for the stop. Brett Denton, our head line judge, was coming in inside the 40, and he's going to spot it short. It's going to be 4th and inches.
Cajuns fans on your feet.
Louisiana will bring in some of the big guys up front. McNeese will do the same. They got a power formation in there, and once again they got the short yardage quarterback, Devin Lippold. And now they're going to look at it. We'll take a review and take a look at the spot. While they do that, we'll take a break also. 12:46 left in quarter number 2. It's Cajun 7, Cowboys 7. Another look at that play by our replay official, Greg Zimmerman. And the call was upheld. No more confirmed or stands this year. It's just the call is either upheld or changed. They upheld the call, get a chance to look at it. As Strong was hit hard right as he got close to the line of scrimmage, and he was stopped short.
Louisiana defense has to watch for the hard count here. They try to draw him off sides. Got to be disciplined on that defensive line.
Leopold under center, and he is going to try to push forward. And I don't know if he got there.
I think he did.
6'3", 241 pounds out of the quarterback spot, but it's going to be close again. It's going to depend on the spot. But I think this time he did touch it. Yep, and they're going to give the first down. All he had to do was touch the 40.
Wow, the nose of the ball is touching the 40.
So the Cowboys pick up a big 4th and short. And they went to the product of Houston Clear Lake High School. He had a couple of touchdowns last year in short yardage. He did not attempt a pass last year.
I think that second effort got it for him. Move the change.
So 1st and 10 at the 40. Strong fakes the handoff. He's back to throw. Was looking deep. Now he's going to break loose. He's get some running room. And he's going to slide forward. And
yep, there's a late hit. I mean, a hit to the helmet.
Flag came in from way on the side.
Yep.
From the linesman. And Strong was diving to the turf. He went into the slide.
Yes.
Well back at about the 42, maybe the 43-yard line.
And they hit him high,
play. Personal foul. Late hit. Defense, number 11. 15 yards after the end of the run.
Foul's going to be called on Brent Gordon Jr., the Cecilia product. We'll get a chance to look at it again. And I guess they're going to call maybe through the elbow out at him. That WWE move when you hit the guy with the people's elbow.
Yeah, and you're going full speed, and all of a sudden he decides to slide very hard to pull up. Couldn't do it that time, 15-yarder. Now they're in Louisiana territory, keeps the drive alive.
Been a tough first half for Gordon. He got hit in the head with a punt, and now he picks up the 15-yard penalty. So 1st and 10, as Strong will throw it out here and immediately hit for a loss of about a yard. They're throwing it out to Cam Senegal, another product of Zachary, but Marion Elam, the star linebacker, was right there.
Yeah, good read, good pursuit right there. And boy, that's textbook. Nice tackle, nice solo tackle right there. And now McNeese is behind the chains.
At the guest services tent at the Southwest Gate.
2nd and 12. Cajuns had 102 yards offense in the first quarter. Cowboys had 95. Strong again back to throw. He's got it out to receiver. And pushed out of bounds right at about the 39-yard line after Citizen made the stop. And his compatriot wearing number 7, Cortland Flowers, is there to make the tackle. Pickup of about 5. It's going to be 3rd and 6. The Cowboys again in Louisiana territory, just inside the 39-yard line. As we get near the 10-minute mark of the first half. Strong's going to change the play. 7 on the play clock. He's got Citizen in the backfield with him. He'll take the snap. Quick over the middle. This is complete, but run out of bounds. And I think short of the first down once again. Nice stop by Terrence Williams on the completion.
Short of the first down. Fans, the offense is staying on the field for
Tyrone Hayes was on the catch just for 3 yards, and now it's going to be 4th and about 1.5 yards. A little too long for the short yardage quarterback. It'll be Strong once again in the backfield. He's got Citizen there with him. Motion man right. Strong back to throw under some pressure. Gets away from the pressure, but not the second time. Did a good job of keeping the play alive. but Kadarius Miller was in there on the stop, as was Caleb Cabody. Cajuns forced the 4 and out, and they'll take over at 9:24 left in the first half.
Injured? Everyone in the Lafayette community knows.
Closing stages last week, it just continued really a quarterback carousel for the Cajuns. A lot of injuries, especially over the last 3 years. Ben Woolridge with a couple of injuries. That brought on Chandler Fields to play. Also gave Zion Chris a chance 2 years ago, but then he was hurt. Chandler Fields had to step back in. Ben Woolridge did get a lot of starts last year, but again was injured, and Chandler Fields once again had to take over this team. And of course, when Fields was injured late in the year last year, Daniel Beal had to come on. He actually saw action in 3 games at the end of the year, including the Sun Belt Championship game and the New Mexico Bowl. It has been a tough run for Cajun quarterbacks over the last 4 years. Beal will hand it off, and Davis on the delayed handoff somehow is going to find enough room to pick up about 5 yards. Before Philip Bradford is the guy in there, along with Shoes. Got to be the Shoes, Brinkley. The transfer from Delaware had an interception last week against Louisiana Christian.
And early on, thought this might be a shootout, but both defenses digging in, getting stops. A few big plays for both offenses, but only in the first drives.
Beal puts a man in motion. That's Williams, who's back in the game. He'll go to Davis again. He's got a seam. He's got a first down. He is over midfield. And runs out of bounds on the Cajun sideline. And Davis picks up another first down before that other Davis, Javon Davis, the nickel back for the Cowboys.
And boy, you see that big hole open up. That offensive line doing a nice job moving, sprinting out to the left, hat on hat, opening up the lane, and Davis doesn't need much.
1st and 10 inside Cowboy territory at the 48. Johnson comes into motion, stops in the slot. Again, it's Davis. He'll spin his way down near the 40-yard line. Pickup of almost 8 yards. Louisiana offensive front able to spring a little bit more gap opening this week for their running backs. Last week struggled against that Rice Owl offense. Shoes Brinkley again in on the tackle.
Here's Whitfield in at quarterback.
Lunch Whitfield, the sophomore from Lutcher, in the Wildcat, and boys, he hit, hammered home. Nobody there, and nobody was around for Lunch that time as he ran headlong into Keenan Landry, or was it Dominic Bolden? Can't tell with the jersey. It's actually Bolden. The jersey's a little folded up, but it was number 99, the senior from Round Rock, Texas. Had 4 tackles last week and was in there quickly this time, setting up a 3rd and a short 6. Louisiana tried to go with the Wildcat attack and nothing doing that time. Davis will try to cut it outside. He will fight forward. He's going to be close to the first down. Actually, it was Perry who got the call that time, just came in, and there are a couple of Cowboys down on the field. Get the replay here. And tell you, he gets an assist from Cooper Fordham, the center, who grabbed Davis, or rather grabbed Perry and tried to pull him forward to the first down. And I think that may be Bolden, who made the big play one play ago, who's still down on the field. Jermaine Hargraves was also down for a few minutes, or was it Sibley? Sometimes those white jerseys are pushing up and you can't really catch the number. I think it was actually Sibley. But Bolden's going to get up and walk it off.
The offense had stayed on the field before the injury. Let's see if they come back and try to get this first down here. 4th and 1.
Perry was hit hard right before he got to the 40. Was able to spin forward to the 39. But Louisiana needs the 38 to pick up a first down. They'll have 4th and short. Oh for 2 last week on 4th down. Hand off to Davis. He is upended, but not before. He will go forward, and it looks like he'll have enough for the first down, and he will.
Handoff goes to number 7, Bill Davis.
He was hit in the backfield, but had enough momentum. Hughes Brinkley was again in on the stop, but just enough for the first down. First down number 8 for Louisiana. Inside 6 minutes left in the first half. Beal back to throw. He's going to throw the out, and it was tipped up in the air. And incomplete. Jermaine Hargraves, a junior from California, out of the College of San Mateo. 4 tackles last week against Louisiana Christian, and got a big paw up on this one.
Sure did. Sampson right there, just a quick hitch. Was open, probably would have gained 5 or 6 yards right there. But a nice play by the big fella coming up there, getting a paw on it.
2nd and 10 for Beal. He calls for the ball. He handed off to Davis. Nothing there this time as he is snowed under.
Loss of 2, 3rd and 12.
Welland Williams out of East St. John High School. Got a little help from Hughes Brinkley. Williams making his 23rd start for the Cowboys, or his 23rd. Yes, he was a starter. 23rd straight start. And puts the Cajuns in a 3rd and long, 3rd and 12 from the 40-yard line. Perry in the backfield. Here come the Cowboys. The blitz coming. They try to throw the bubble screen. Didn't get much, but a little bit of second effort's going to get some positive yardage, but still way short of the first down. Shelton Sampson made the catch. Marquell Price was there to make the stop, but it is well short of the first down, and now the Cajuns will have a decision. They have a 4th and about 7, and I think that Tony Sterner is going to come on to try a long field goal. He did hit from 51 yards last week, made from 47 and 51, but he has a miss already tonight from 28. out of the hold of Hunter Sims. This will be a 53-yard attempt. Low line drive kick, and that's going to sail wide to the right, no good.
And McNeese will have great field position after another stop.
Couple of missed field goals for the Cajuns. The Cowboys will have possession again when we come back. 4:02 left in the first half. We're still all tied at 7.
From Church on it.
The Cajuns honored outgoing President Dr. Joseph Savoie, who recently announced his retirement after 17 years as UL president. A long career in higher education, and not just with the Cajuns. He also served as the Louisiana Commissioner of Education for many years before returning to Lafayette and taking over as president. Just announced his retirement. Had a chance to speak to him last night at the UL Athletic Hall of Fame banquet, and he looks like he's enjoying life, and well he should. Coming the other direction, getting a little running room and finding a seam. Cam Senegal coming on the reverse out of his wide receiver spot from the H wide receiver position.
Pick up of 8, 2nd and 2 at the 44.
Gain of 8 before he's run out of bounds. And it will be 2nd and short now for the Cowboys.
A little push pass right there in speed. Gordon had him, but he's able to run right by him, turn the corner, make it 2nd and short.
Gain of 8 on the pass. Strong now 9 of 11 for 106 yards. This time handoff up the middle and powering forward. Cowboys will have another first down. Citizen hit it up in the middle that time.
Yep, just moves the pile right there. 3:15 to play in the second. McNeese will get the ball to start the second half, so trying to play a little make it, take it right here.
Lance Williams out of Holy Cross in New Orleans, the redshirt sophomore. Got his 2nd tackle of the season. 1st and 10 Cowboys at their own 49. So we're inside 3 minutes. Strong will keep it. It's got some running room. Throw is out, and it is incomplete. Trying to make the scooping catch was Makai Paris. Former first team All-Catholic League receiver out of Edna Carr in New Orleans.
Got to make that catch a little bit low, but you got to come up with that for your quarterback.
2nd and 10. Clock stops with the incompletion. Strong calls for it. Quick pop pass over the middle. That's complete. They go right back to Paris. This time he hangs on. And he'll pick up a first down before Tyree Skipper is there to make the tackle.
Little RPO. Linebacker comes up to play the run. He pulls it. Nice throw and catch right there for the first down for McNeese.
Cowboys will play with some pace. Throw out here on the sideline, and it is complete. Trey Eccles. Transfer from Kent State, Brent Gordon makes the tackle with one hand, but not before Eccles picks up 8 yards. And again, it's a 2nd and short. Cowboys have done a good job on first down. They have not faced a lot of long yardage situations on both 2nd and 3rd.
2-minute timeout.
And they'll get a little time to talk this one out as we've got to the 2-minute timeout here in the first half. 2 minutes left. It is still Cajun 7, Cowboys 7. Coming up at halftime, we'll take a look at last night's induction ceremony for the Louisiana Athletics Hall of Fame. 5 former Cajun standouts and a longtime administrator inducted, including in that class Kevin Brooks, one of the great basketball players all time. Brett Baer may have the biggest kick in Cajun history. Richard Ainley, all-conference golfer. Haley Hayden, Dr. Ed Dugas, and Corey Coles. We'll take a look at them at halftime. 2 minutes left here in the first half. Strong's going to loft it up, and it is going to be, did he hold on?
He did.
Yes,
Huge.
he did.
Huge takeaway.
Strong tried to do the lob over the Cajun defense. A little too long, and somebody in a red jersey was there. It might have been Jalen Clark, the product of New Orleans. He had 3 interceptions in 2022. He had 3 interceptions in 2023 before he was hurt a lot last year. But he comes up with what I believe is his 7th career interception, and the Cajuns dodge a bullet here at the end of the first half. And now they've got a minute 53 to try to get something going themselves.
Yeah, huge defensive play right there. They faked a bubble screen and tried to sneak somebody out on that side. Nothing doing for Clark. He stays home and goes up with 2 hands for a huge pick. Probably going to take points off the board for McNeese because they were well in field goal range.
Louisiana has 3 timeouts. As Daniel Beal calls for it, he'll go back to throw. He's looking for the lob himself, and he's looking for Robert Williams, and there comes the flag.
Yep.
And Javon Davis can't believe he just got flagged for interference. But I think that is going to be the call.
That's
Referee
interference.
Marshall Lewis
Defense number 5. 15-yard penalty. First down.
will make the call. That's the 3rd 15-yard penalty against the Cowboys in the game. And Louisiana will have a first down. And will be at the 24-yard line as the play began back at the 9.
Yeah, Davis comes in the nickel package, and he's step for step with him, but never turns around, kind of runs him out of bounds, never plays the football.
First down at the 24. Beal has Perry, has some time. He's throwing on the wheel route, but that's going to be overthrown over near the Cajun sideline. Shelton Sampson was the intended target. And once again, really good coverage over there by Marquell Price.
Yeah, step for step after the penalty. Coach Dez trying to take a shot deep. Like you mentioned, kind of an out and up right there for Sampson Jr. Not open, and I think Beal just decided to throw that one out of bounds instead of throwing it up for grabs.
2nd and 10. Quick snap back to Beal. He'll throw it again, and unable to hold on is Shelton Sampson. And that's got to be frustrating for the former Catholic High product. Had several drops last week and now has another one here. And you know he wants to help out his former high school teammate. They were teammates at Catholic High.
Yeah, he completes that. That gets you 3rd and manageable, but again, gets both hands on it, unable to make a play for his quarterback. Now 3rd and 10 here in their own, deep in their own territory.
Beal back to throw under some pressure, running up the middle. He's got some running room. He's going to pick up a first down and more. Over the 40, he's out of bounds at the 45-yard line. And Daniel Beal maybe doesn't get enough credit for being able to run and find a seam. 43 rush yards last year, long of 20. And he just picked up a first down for Louisiana and got him out of a big hole out to the 46-yard line.
Yeah, showed a burst right there, a little second gear. I think they brought a little pressure, but not disciplined on that pressure, allowed him to have a big gain and a first down.
Perry in the backfield. He'll get the handoff. Tries to pick his way. He's at midfield. He's got some running room himself inside the 40. He is tripped up. He gets down to about the 36-yard line. Javon Davis has to make the tackle. But Perry again finding some running room as the clock runs after they reset the chains. Beal with a quick out. And that one goes off the hands of Jaden Johnson.
It's a good throw, man. The receivers have got to start making plays. Can't continue to hit him in the hands, and they continue to drop passes.
2nd and 10 at the 36.
Play a little hurry up right there, and that's a nice throw from Beal. Comes up empty again.
Louisiana still with all 3 of its timeouts. Beal will call for it. He'll hand it off to Davis right up the middle. He's got a seam. He's at the 20. He's at the 10. He's going to get in the end zone. Bill Davis's 2nd touchdown of the night, and the Cajuns have the lead.
And how big is that pick now from Clark deep in Louisiana territory? The defense gets the stop, and Beal leads this offense right down the field into the end zone for the touchdown before halftime. What a big momentum play by the defense. And now the offense marches down the field for 6, maybe 7. Great job by the offensive line opening up that hole, and Davis does not need much of a hole. Sprints to the end zone.
The product of Riverside Academy in Laplace with his second touchdown as Sterner comes on, and he'll add the extra point. 91 yards on only 6 plays, and it only took 47 seconds. As Davis finds the end zone from 36 yards out, and a really good block by Bryant Williams, a Lake Charles native, the redshirt junior. Got 1 start last year, but played in all 13 games, but he delivered a big block from his left tackle spot that time.
Now special teams has to make a play, not allow a big return right here. Do a good job, or get it into the end zone, force the touchback, but definitely make some tackles and try to pin them deep. 1:06 to play in the half.
Logan Klotz will kick it away. The redshirt senior, Jonathan Harris, back deep for the Cowboys. Had 2 kickoff returns last week, averaged 31 yards a return as Klotz powers this one on the left side and is going to go dribble down to the 1-yard line. And Harris is going to basically make the fair catch right there, and that's, oh, they spotted at the 1, or did he call for
signal for a fair catch? Subsequently caught the ball after it had already touched the ground. By rule, the ball is placed at that location, first down.
And he'll have to start at the 2-yard line because he did not make a valid fair catch signal. That's one of the new rules this year.
First and 10 for McNeese.
So McNeese will start at the 2 and start in a little bit of a danger zone.
And a great break for Louisiana, because that ball could have easily kicked left out of bounds, which would have been a penalty and good field position for McNeese. But after the penalty, the ball at the 2-yard line. Let's see how they want to play it here. Definitely don't want to turn over if you're McNeese. You'd love to get this into the half down 7.
The rule is called that he made an invalid signal. So now from the 2-yard line, Cowboys will go to work with Strong in the shotgun. He has Citizen in the backfield. Citizen's going to get the call, and he is going to be hit. Stays on his feet. He'll pick up a couple of yards, but not before he is snowed under there. Cajuns have all 3 of their timeouts, and I think they just used the first of those 3. They're trying to get the football back now after they've got some momentum. A.J. Thomas.
First charge timeout, Louisiana. Should be a 30-second timeout. Please reset the game clock to 1 minute.
Cameron Whitfield was one of the guys in on the tackle. Jake St. Andre was also there. But the Cajuns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. And what a turn of events this has been over the last couple of minutes. It looked like McNeese was in position to play make it, take it, partner. They were going to have what would have been a probable field goal at worst. But then the interception, Cajuns go 91 yards quickly back the other way and get the touchdown. And now they're trying to get the football back again with a minute left in the half. Here's the 2 big plays that set up that score. Strong was trying to throw one, a little lob pass that came down into the hands of Jalen Clark. And then the big run by Bill Davis. 36 yards for his second touchdown of the night. He's got 88 yards rushing already. 2nd and 8. Citizen finds a little bit of running room, but then he is hit hard at the 5-yard line. Marion Elam is in there along with Drennan Fight, the SMU transfer. And Louisiana will take another timeout with 54 seconds left.
Second charge timeout, Louisiana. Should be a 30-second timeout.
And now the Cajuns 1 more defensive play away from getting the ball back and probably getting it back in good field position.
Yeah, and if you're McNeese, you don't want to risk throwing the ball. They may try it, but if you do throw an incompletion, that stops the clock automatically, and then you have to punt. Do you just keep it on the ground, try to run a little clock and then punt it away and hope your defense can make a stop and get you down 7, only down 7 at the half.
You saw Cajun coach Michael Desormeaux inside that huddle. We'll have a chance to talk with Coach Des at halftime. Also have a quick recap of last night's UL Athletic Hall of Fame ceremonies, where one of those honored was former Cajun kicker Brett Baer, honored from the football program. Coach Desormeaux also had a lot of his former teammates here in town this weekend for Gridiron Alumni Week, the 2005 team that he was a freshman on that won the conference championship. They'll be honored also at halftime.
Hard count. Louisiana holds its water there.
3rd and long. A little bit of running room for Bryce Strong, but not that much. Louisiana is going to take its 3rd timeout, and they're going to get the football back.
3rd and final charge timeout, Louisiana.
Terrence
Should be a
Williams
30-second timeout.
came up and closed inside. Strong was able to get it out to the 7-yard line, so he does have full range for his punter, Fabrizio Penton. But Louisiana should get good field position. We talked about the Cajuns Hall of Fame last night. Last week, McNeese Athletics had their induction to the Hall of Fame. There's our good friend Glenn Duyon, longtime basketball coach for the Cowboys, among 6 former Cowboy standouts in 4 different sports that were inducted into the McNeese Athletic Hall of Fame. Vic King, one of the former football standouts that was honored. 4th down, Penton back to punt. He at least has a couple of yards before that back line now, as the offense was able to squeeze out a little bit of yardage after starting at the 2-yard line. And getting it away, and this one's going to be off to the side, but getting a great roll. Big break for the Cowboys as Penton got it away under pressure. And then it tightrope the sidelines right in front of the Cajun bench.
First and 10 for Louisiana at their 44.
Penton had averaged 47 yards on his first 2 punts. This one's even better.
Yeah, big bounce there from McNeese. That went 15, 20 yards further than when it hit. And now the offense back on the field, and Daniel Beal more and more comfortable in this offense with a nice drive there. 39 seconds. Let's see if he can get in field goal range.
49 yards on the punt from Penton. Cajuns take over at their own 44 as Beal back to throw. Quick out. Goes to the tight end, Caden Jensen. Redshirt freshman from Flower Mound, Texas. And I just always like saying Flower Mound. Amari Sibley is there to make the tackle, the former South Alabama standout.
Nice play there, only 4 seconds.
5-yard pickup, 2nd and 5. Just shy of midfield. Beal again back to throw, pump fake. Now he's under some pressure. He's going to be sacked back at the 45-yard line. And the Cajuns out of timeouts. They're going to have to hustle up to the line of scrimmage. Landon Barrett was there, had 6 tackles last week, gets his first sack of the season. And a lot of time running off the clock, down to just 15 seconds now. 3rd and 9. As Beal gets it away, rolling out, tries to throw it deep, and a flag's going to be thrown. I tell you what, I don't know if Williams could have made the catch inbounds, but interference is going to be called.
Pass interference. Defense, number 5, 15-yard penalty.
Flag is on Javon Davis, and that is now the 4th 15-yard penalty called on the Cowboys here in the first half. Beal was just throwing it up in the air, but yeah, the contact was made before he went out of bounds.
He sure did, and he had a chance to maybe bring that in and tap a toe inbounds. but too much contact and a big play there for Louisiana. Good job by Beal extending that play with his legs and putting it out there for his receiver to make a play or draw a penalty, and he gets the penalty. Now 6 seconds, offense on the field.
Beal will try to get in one more play from the 40. From here, it would be a 57-yard field goal. So they'll try to get something in these 6 seconds. Cajuns do not have a timeout, so it's got to go to the sideline. He's going to throw it inbounds and getting out of bounds with 1 second on the clock.
Beal's pass complete.
I think it was Kadarius Wade on the far side makes the catch. A product of Jackson, Mississippi. Had 1 catch last week, and he just got out of bounds in time. And now that makes it a much more manageable field goal attempt for Tony Sterner, who's got 2 misses here in the first half.
Great job by your quarterback right there. No panic. Makes a couple of nice throws. One draws the penalty. This one puts him in field goal range. Let's see if he can get it through.
38-yard field goal attempt, and this time Sterner's got it. He had a 47 and a 51 last week. He toes it through from 38, and Louisiana will go into the half, leading McNeese 17-7.
Athletics.
A very special night last night in the history of Raging Cajun athletics. 6 more inductees into the UL Athletic Hall of Fame, the highest honor the university can bestow on its athletic greats. Dr. Brian Maggard formally presented the group last night. Each of them got a chance to talk about their experiences. Dr. Ed Dugas, 39-year career in public education, and he was just getting started, a volunteer for 20 years, the founder of the Athletic Network. The leading hitter in Raging Cajun baseball history for a career, Corey Coles, product of Lafayette, who also hit over 300 in a 6-year professional career, a two-way player. Richard Ainley, unable to be there last night, one of only 2 Cajuns ever to win the Sun Belt Conference individual title. He was accepted by head golf coach Theo Slyman. Haley Hayden, the all-time leading run producer in the long history of Raging Cajun softball, a 4-time All-Conference, 4-time All-Louisiana. Her little sister Maddie was also in attendance, also a former Cajun. Haley, one of the long line of Cajun softball honorees in the Hall of Fame. KB, Kevin Brooks, first-round draft choice at the end of his career back in the late 1980s, honored over 35 years after finishing his career, one of the all-time top scorers in Cajun history. And lastly, Brett Baer. All he did was have the most memorable single play in Louisiana football history, his field goal winning the 2011 New Orleans Bowl. These 6 honorees bringing to 209 the total number of Cajuns honored with the UL Athletic Hall of Fame.
Welcome back to halftime in Raging Cajun football. Thrilled to have Cajun coach Michael Desormeaux with us. And Coach, I know you and your team and your staff were disappointed in week one, but I know you saw some positives in some areas that you might have had some concerns about going in.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, there's whether you win or you lose, there's always things that you got to get fixed, and there's always positives. I thought defensively was certainly a positive, especially the second half, the way we tackled and got off of blocks and created negative plays and did those things. That was really good to see. Special teams operated really well. For the most part, the 2 penalties, hurt us on there, but really executed well. Those are things that you got to build off of while you get the offense clicking and get it going. And we will do that because, we've got good players there too. So, I think our new guys and new roles on defense probably performed a little bit better than our new guys and new roles maybe on offense did. But that's part of being a team. You got to work and get it all figured out, and we're going to do that.
Your team held a good option attack to only 6 first downs, I think 62 yards rushing in the second half, so I know you were happy with that. You're in the middle of a 4-game stretch of non-conference games. I know you've said all along that goal number 1 is to win the Sun Belt Conference and raise the trophy at the end of the year. What in these 4 games are you really looking to see and accomplish from your team?
Well, first you need constant improvement, right? Week to week to week, you got to keep getting better. And the first 4 games being non-conference gives you an opportunity to get all the kinks worked out as you get into conference play. And certainly got to hit stride when you get there because all of those matter. And you just need your team to continue to grow together, right? And you need to continue to build chemistry. You got to find your formula to win because every team's a little bit different. So that's what we've got to do the first 4 weeks of the season is we've got to continue to make improvements and adjustments and continue to play better and perform better so that when we get to the first conference game, we're hitting our stride.
We'll be back to talk with Coach Des some more. When we return, you're watching Cajun football on ESPN+.
Here in a
Welcome back to halftime of Raging Cajun Football with Cajun coach Michael Desormeaux. And, Coach, a couple of other things going on this weekend surrounding the game. Obviously, the Gridiron Club is having some reunions this weekend, and a reunion of a team that you were intimately involved in.
Yeah, it's hard to believe it's been 20 years since that 2005 team, won the conference championship. And cool team to be a part of. Started out 1-5, and it looked pretty bleak. And then rattled off, 5 in a row to finish 6-5 and win a share of that conference championship. That was a really unique team, a cool thing to be a part of.
The other thing really going on this weekend, the UL Athletic Hall of Fame induction. Obviously, 6 very worthy people going in at last night's induction. But one special one, a guy named Brett Baer that Cajun fans will obviously remember. The field goal in the 2010 New Orleans Bowl, still an iconic moment in the history of the program. You were there on hand that night. What were your recollections of that, and what did that mean for the entire UL program?
Well, it meant a whole lot to everybody who'd been a part of it. We talked about the 2005 team. We didn't get a bowl game that year. 3 out of my 4 years, we finished bowl eligible and didn't get in. That was the first time they broke through, and not just to get in, but to win one, I think was huge for our program. And Brett was actually on the team at the back end of my career. So it was really cool for a lot of those guys, the Brad McGuires and the Chris Masons and Brett Bears and all those guys who I played with that stuck it out, man, and kept their nose to the grind to finally go out there and go get a bowl win was big for our program. I think kind of set the standard to where now it's the expectation. And that was a heck of a moment, though, in New Orleans.
It's a heck of a moment for all of us. Coach, thank you very much for being with us here at halftime. Good luck the rest of the way, and as we get ready in these next couple of games for the conference season.
Thank you, Dan.
We'll be back with the second half when we return. You're watching Cajun Football on ESPN+.
athletics.
Back at Our Lady of Lourdes Stadium, getting set for the second half. Louisiana leading McNeese 17-7. The Cajuns had 2 scores in the final minute 6 seconds of the first half with a touchdown run and a field goal on the last play of the half. It was a hot start for Louisiana. Drove down and got a touchdown from Bill Davis on a 6-yard run early, but the Cowboys came right back. A 55-yard completion from Jake Strong to Joshua Jackson set up a touchdown. Leipold scored it on a 2-yard run. That was 7-7 before the Cajuns had those scores late and had that 17-7 win. Logan Klotz's kickoff handled deep, and there will be no return. Cowboys will have it 1st and 10 at the 25 when we return to play. First half, Cajuns had 14 first downs, 8 of them in the second quarter. Cowboys with 8 first downs. 223 yards in total offense for Louisiana, 154 for McNeese. McNeese had 131 yards passing. You get a look at Jake Strong there. Good first half, 11 out of 15 for those 131 yards, but had a key interception that Eric really sort of changed the flow of this game. Strong will call for it. He'll send it out, and slipping a tackle, diving forward, and looks like he's going to have, nope, they're going to spot him a little short of the first down. Good effort by Jesse Campbell, the transfer from Southern Utah and Riverside Community College. Had 3 catches last week, including a touchdown. Jaden Duggar is over there to make the tackle. But now 2nd and a short 1 for the Cowboys. Strong will keep it himself. He'll get the first down before he is hit hard after a pickup of only about 1 yard. Kadarius Miller was one of the guys that was in there, I think, along with Jordan Lawson. The defensive end and the nose guard teaming up. Pickup of only about 1 yard, but it was enough to get the first down out over the 35.
Yeah, play before, Trey Tomlinson came up from his corner spot, had a chance to make a tackle for a limited gain, but it's a big gain after the missed tackle, and now a first down for McNeese.
Strong gets the snap. He'll loft it down here, and making the catch is going to be the tight end, Logan Malden. He caught that in some traffic inside Cajun territory, the former Coastal Carolina Chanticleer.
First and 10 for the Cowboys at the Louisiana.
I said earlier that he had played previously against the Cajuns. Actually, he did not play. Pass is complete out to Citizen. Apparently he didn't have it. I thought he had a knee on the ground when he caught it. Apparently he was able to keep it clear of the turf. Tyree Skipper, Terrence Williams combined on the stop, but it's going to be another first down. I mentioned Malden. He was on that Coastal Carolina team back in 2020 when the Chanticleers were, well, decided not to play in the conference championship game when COVID struck. Strong back to throw under some pressure, but gets it away, but unable to hang on. That time was Jesse Campbell. Trey Tomlinson was the closest guy there, and that time Strong had to get it away quickly.
He had a guy in his face, threw it behind him. Tomlinson with really good closing speed, staying step for step with him, breaks up that pass.
2nd and 10 from the 35. Strong will call for it, fakes the handoff, another pop pass over the middle, and just a little bit too far out in front of Campbell. And if he's able to hold on to that, he might be still running.
He was open. That quick slant again, similar to the first drive they had to start the game, right down the field with a couple of these completions, but that time just a little bit too far out. Great effort to get both hands on it, but can't bring it in.
Campbell had 6 starts last year, 20 catches, 263 yards for the Cowboys. So 3rd and 10 from the 35. Cajuns bring the blitz. Strong evades it for a second, and now he's just going to run out of bounds at about the 33. well short of the first down as Chase Edwards chased him out of bounds. Fabrizio Penton's going to come on. Looks like he's going to have his shot at a long field goal. Only had one attempt last week. He made it from 38 yards. This one's going to be right at 50. Out of the hold of Jake Strong, the quarterback. Pearson Parent, the deep snapper. And Penton will get this one away from right at the 40. And it's bobbled and Strong. I don't know if he tried to pick it up or if it was just a bad snap. But the Cajuns are going to take over on the bobble. They'll have the football when we come back. 12:06 left in the second half. It's Cajuns 17, Cowboys 7.
From church.
Well, we won't take the timeout then, as apparently our referee Marshall Lewis must have dinner reservations later on tonight. So they're bringing everybody back. They've got a presentation down in the end zone. We've got about 50 people down in the end zone. Thought we were going to have a presentation, but they're going to have to clear the field, and now nobody knows what's happening. Our referee, Marshall Lewis, is walking down toward the end zone and pushing people back. Let's be honest, this is not a good look. When the referee has to clear the field, and this is not a good look. Well, good. It does give us a chance to look at the kick. And yes, Strong just bobbled it a little bit. Snap might have been a little bit high, but couldn't get it down, and the Cajuns had good penetration on it. Cortland Flowers was one of the guys in there.
Yeah, they're going to re-kick.
And apparently we had a penalty on the play.
Offsides on the defense.
Said the Cajuns were offsides. Wow. So another chance now for Penton. New life. That one just wasn't handled very well. Nevertheless, a 45-yard field goal attempt now for Penton. He made one last week from 38. He's got it up. He's got plenty of leg on it. He's going to hook that one through. So the second chance works. 11:50 left here in the third quarter play. Cajuns lead at 17-10.
Hub City Ford is proud to support
Stadium. I'm your sideline reporter, Ben Schaefer, and I had a chance to talk to Raging Cajuns head coach Mike Desormeaux at halftime. He was very pleased with how his offense and defense played to finish off that first half and combine to give the team a 2-possession lead. As far as kicker Tony Sterner and those 2 misses, he wasn't worried about it, and he said he still has total confidence in Sterner's abilities, and he said he showed why with that make to end the first half. Dan, Eric, back to you guys.
Thanks, Ben. 45-yard field goal by Fabrizio Penton, and we'll get a chance to look at the play, and the official word was that they called Trey Tomlinson for the Cajuns for being offside. He said he lined up offsides. So that's why the flag was thrown. And that gave Penton a second chance. And he was able to tow through the 45-yard field goal. 47 yards on 8 plays, took just over 3 minutes. Squib kick this time by Penton. It's handled at the 25-yard line and headed upfield. Well, there's one we don't see very much. Was that Fitzgerald West? Yes, it was. The Cajuns defensive lineman. Now, he's also seen some time in the backfield before, but he's been a blocking back when he's come in, but he handled that, Eric, like he knew what he was doing.
Pretty good. Straight up the field, north to south. Got a few yards right there, and pretty good field position for Louisiana.
6'2", 290. Out of Lafayette, from Lafayette Christian. Played at LSU before transferring back home. 1st and 10 for Louisiana.
Perry.
As Perry's going to get the call on first down. Landon Barrett is there to make the tackle after a gain of about 4 yards for Perry. Perry had 57 yards rushing in the first half. Bill Davis had 88, including that long 36-yard touchdown run late in the half. So 2nd and 6. You can tell those red jerseys, a lot of them pretty damp tonight. It is hot, it is humid, and has been since these teams came out on the field today. A little bit of running room on the side for Zylan Perry. Makes a nice move, and he's going to pick up a first down. Perry made a nice spin move. Javon Davis is there to finally make the tackle. Davis, the leading returning tackler for the Cowboys, but that time Perry got the last 4 or 5 on his own.
Yeah, jumps over the defender right there, and that's a fresh Perry too, with most of the work being done by Davis in the first half. Now Perry getting going here in the second.
He didn't get a very good spot. Looked like he was about a full yard farther than the spot at the 46 when he was finally pushed out of bounds. Nevertheless, 1st and 10 as Beal under some pressure, and he'll dump it off. That's Perry again. He jumps over somebody once again.
Oh, my goodness.
Zylan Perry with a couple of highlight reel plays for the last 2. Hughes Brinkley is there to make the stop.
And Coach
Zylan Perry with a big-time leaping catch here.
Yeah, getting his quarterback rolling out right there, and that's an absolute strike. And
Watch
right
this.
there,
Whoop.
hurdle. The Coach Battle and the track coach is watching. Man,
Mason
that's a nice
Edwards
play.
had gone down to try to make the low tackle, and Perry just went right over the top.
Good form, too. Nice play by Beal.
1st and 10 at the 41. Beal will hand it off to Davis. Has to go the other way, but he's again finds some running room. A flag comes in late. And I didn't see another Cajun over there maybe that could have been called for holding. If indeed it was a hold, Bryant Williams was the guy that was over close by. But it might be a hold on Louisiana. Now they'll throw the flag back to where the penalty actually occurred.
Personal foul, illegal blindside block, offense number 87.
Wasn't really a hold. They'll call the
15-yard penalty for the
blindside
spot on the
block.
foul. Remains first down.
We'll get a look at it. Look at the right side of your screen, and you see basically that's the old crackback block. And it was not Bryant Williams who did it. I didn't catch the number, but the Cajuns were guilty of that one. We've now had 7 penalties in this game, and Eric, every one of them has been a 15-yarder.
Wow. Yeah, after a nice gain on first down, now Louisiana way behind the chains.
And that's 7 penalties by both
Free
teams.
play.
Beal will throw it on the side, and it is going to be incomplete. He's trying to get it out to Kadarius Wade, but Beal had the free play, so there will be what is probably, and yes, it will be, our first 5-yard penalty of the ball game. Keenan Landry is going to get called for being offsides.
Good hard count there by Beal, gets him to jump.
It will be 1st and 20 as you see the jump right before the snap. Actually, call it about 1st and 18 after that first penalty. Beal will flip it out to the right side. Nice open field tackle that time. Trey Miller couldn't get going because he got tackled by the Shoes by Shoes Brinkley.
Yeah, he came flying and a nice solo tackle right there. 2nd and 18.
I got to tell the story now if I can get it in. When I talked to Coach Viator this week, he obviously didn't take over until late. He got the job in December, and a lot of guys had already gone home. And he got a call from one of the players that left him a message, said, "Hey, this is Shoes." Well, he had no idea who Shoes was, so he had to ask somebody else on his staff, who is this Shoes guy? Beal is hit right when he turned it loose, and the catch is not made, but there's going to be a flag in the backfield.
Roughing.
We'll have to wait and see if we got the roughing or if one of the Cajuns is going to be hit for holding.
I think he hit him high.
One of the Cajuns might have held one of the Cowboys on the far
Personal
side.
foul, roughing the passer.
But that's
Defense
not what the
number
call
17.
was. Instead,
15-yard penalty, automatic
the call,
first down.
it's going to be roughing the passer on Landon Barrett.
Here's a look. I think it was right after he released it, but yeah, high. Hits him in the helmet and almost completed that pass. Oh, man, he almost makes an unbelievable catch, does Williams.
Robert Williams was trying to split a couple of defenders. Jermaine Hargraves was able to knock it away, but the penalty, yet another 15-yard walk-off tonight. Boy, the Cowboys have hurt themselves with penalties. That's now 6 for 80 yards. Louisiana 1st and 10 at the 34. Beal has it. Was looking in the flat. Now he's just going to run out of room, and he'll throw it, but he'll throw it complete. Nice job of going to a secondary receiver.
Flag here, maybe illegal lineman downfield. Took a long time for that play to develop.
The catch was made. Looked like it was Landon Strother who made the catch. The product of St. Thomas More, but Louisiana might have had somebody downfield.
Notable player downfield, offense number 71. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
George Jackson, the redshirt senior, was called for downfield on a play again. As you said, Eric, took a long time to develop. Jackson preseason second team all-conference. Jackson's played every offensive line position except for center during his career. So 1st and 15. Beal has it under pressure again. He'll flip it complete to Caden Jensen, but nothing doing that time. It's going to be a gain of maybe 1 yard.
Jensen stays down. They got him low. Yeah, got him in the knee as he tried to turn upfield.
And the Cajun athletic training staff out quickly. Get a chance to look at it again. Good pressure on Beal that time. Just had to get rid of it. And Brinkley with the low hit. Legal hit. Just caught Jensen low.
Timeout for injured player. Timeout on the field.
We'll take a timeout while they tend to the Cajun tight end. 7:53 left here in period number 3. Cajuns lead at 17-10. talked about McNeese's Hall of Fame ceremony last week. One of the guys that went in, Vic King, standout running back for the Cowboys for 3 years. 2 times he was the Southland Conference Player of the Year, led the league in rushing both of his last 2 years. That's when Coach Matt Viator was an assistant on the McNeese staff. Still ranks 8th in McNeese history in rushing touchdowns, 5th in overall total rushing.
Perry back in. He'll be behind Beal in the pistol.
Cowboys could use him tonight. They only have 27 yards rushing as a team. Second and 14 for Louisiana. Handoff's going to go to Perry. He's going to get held up. Ball's loose. He's going to fall on it, but it's going to be a big loss as he got that ball stripped away by one of the Cowboy defenders. And again, Cajuns are fortunate to maintain possession. We'll get a look at it again. Can't tell who the Cowboy was that got a hand in there, but got a hand on the football, knocked it away. And it might have been Robert Williams. Wrong team. Might have been the other zero, Jermaine Hargraves, or maybe A.J. Thomas, number 9. That's who it was in his jersey. So 3rd and a long way for Louisiana. They've got to get to the 24-yard line. And now they're going to have to get a little more, as they just got hit with their first 5-yard penalty of the game.
False start. Offense number 50. 5-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
So 3rd and 27. Now, I don't know if the play chart goes deep enough to find. I don't know if there's a column down there for 3rd and 27. We'll see how the Cajuns play it. Back in their own end of the field at the 48. Beal's just going to hand it off. Finding some running room there. Going to the 35, the 30. Cutting inside. They're going to spot Zylan Perry at about the 25. And all of a sudden, the Cajuns have a 4th and only about a yard to go for a first down. Ryan Robinson made the saving tackle, but Perry found a big opening. And all of a sudden, it's 4th and manageable. Cajuns will go for it. 4th and 1. Beal under center. He'll give it to Davis, and he will push forward, and I don't know if he got there. It's going to depend on the spot, but it looks like from both spots that he's going to come up short.
No signal yet. Everybody's just kind of looking around at each other.
Nobody's put the ball down yet. And I tell you what, he got a pretty good spot.
First down.
He's going to get the first down. I kept waiting for our umpire, Stanford Jackson, to put the ball down, and I thought he was going to be short. We'll get another look at it. That's just power on power. Now, he did get pulled back, and he did have the ball in front of him. Had the ball up around his face mask, so that might have been what got him the first down. But I think they're going to go back and take a look at this one. I think we're going to get the replay. So Greg Zimmerman, our replay official, will take a look, or did we have a timeout?
Coach Viator wants to know.
He may have taken the timeout so that Greg Zimmerman could take a good look at the play.
His helmet might have got to the line. I'm not sure the ball did. The line to gain I'm talking about. That was definitely a generous spot like you mentioned, Dan.
It is college football, so every play is reviewed.
Prior to the timeout, replay initiated a review of the previous play, which ruled the runner beyond the line to gain.
Okay, so before McNeese called the timeout, replay booth did buzz down, so Greg Zimmerman, our replay official, and Trip Self, our communicator, will take a look at it. I know Matt Viator wanted somebody to look at that play just to make sure. You know, Eric, we always talk about, replay, which is now such an integral part of college football. But one thing replay has done, and I think it is in football, but even more in a lot of other sports, I think it has shown how many times these guys get it right. And this time, wow, I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to see him and where the ball is, but boy, it doesn't look like he got to the.
He did have the ball at one point up around his face mask.
And this may be inconclusive, not enough evidence to see exactly where the ball was, so the call on the field will stand.
Okay, look where the ball is now as he's pushing forward. And at that point, he had the ball up next to his helmet, and then he gets pulled back. But I don't know if he made, I think he just about had to touch the 24-yard line, and I'm not real sure he got there. But we'll wait on the look.
And a big call here. If they get the stop, they get the ball back, McNeese will take over. If not, the drive continues for maybe 7 or definitely in field goal range right now. So a big call right here in the third quarter.
And you know, one thing is they've already moved the chains. So you don't know exactly, at least looking at it at this point, how far he had to get for the first down. Did he have to reach and touch the 24, or did he have to come close to it? That we don't know. I mean, you've got to have, on this play, you just about have to have a camera right on the line of scrimmage.
Yep. Here we go.
But we will find out.
After review, the runner was down short of the line to gain. It'll be McNeese State football at the 24.5-yard line.
And it will be a turnover on downs.
Again, the review occurred before the call for a timeout. There is no timeout charged to McNeese State.
Here's the best two looks at it.
Yeah, he initially gets stopped right here. Then he tries second effort to push and get that ball to the 24, and it just doesn't look like he did.
So McNeese will take over, and they will actually spot the ball back about a foot. So it's not touching the 24 anymore. In fact, it will be officially the 25-yard line where the Cowboys will begin this possession. 5:51 left in period number 3. Down by a touchdown as Jake Strong brings his offense back out on the field. A high snap. And pushing forward, this is Bryce Strong.
And up goes to number 7, Trevante Citizen.
Don't check that. It's going to be
Wrapped up by
Trevante Citizen once again.
Pick up a 3, 2nd and 7.
3-yard pickup. Lance Williams and Caleb Cabody combined on the stop. Cowboys with only 30 rush yards in the game, including that 3-yard carry. But Jake Strong has been strong throwing the football. 14 out of 20 right now for 169 yards. And he's back to throw on 2nd and 7. Lofts it out. This will be complete. It will be short of a first down, as making the diving catch is going to be Jesse Campbell. Campbell's second catch of the game.
McNeese back to the Wildcat. Strong out.
Devin Leopold back in, the 6'3", 241-pound freshman. Short yardage specialist. Scored a couple of touchdowns last year, had one earlier tonight. He'll take it himself. He will push forward, and that's it this time. I don't think he got to the stripe, but it looks like he's going to get the spot.
Looks like it. Yep.
First and 10 for McNeese.
So it will be a first down.
At their 35.
Cabody and Williams once again, this time Terrence Williams. One of 4 Williamses that the Cajuns have on the defensive side of the football. First and 10 right at the 35-yard line. Little flip pass forward. And that will pick up again some positive yardage. Jonathan Harris, the product of Hattiesburg, Mississippi, coming around. Marion Eliam. will make the tackle, but not before a gain of 6.
Nice gain on first down. The speedy Harris able to turn the corner, dive forward.
Strong will call for it. This time handing off. Breaking it to the outside and finding some running room. He's got enough for a first down.
Laundry.
Bryce Strong picked up the first down, but there's a flag on the field right in front of the Cajun bench. Cowboys might have been guilty of a hold.
Yeah, he did a nice job of
Holding.
planting his foot.
Offense number 5. 10-yard penalty from the spot on the foul.
That's Josh Jackson, the wide receiver, trying to block for his teammate, guilty of the hold.
And a couple flags came in. You can see him plant that right foot and cut right there as the hole was filled. He uses his speed to get out. Oh, you can see the hold right there.
There's right in front of you.
Pretty
Jackson
much tackled him.
And a lot of yellow comes flying in. So that negates a pretty good gain. But still just 2nd and 11 after the 9-yard pickup. Citizen straight ahead. He is going to get racked up as he gets out just short of the 39-yard line. So now it's going to be a 3rd and 6 for the Cowboys.
A vast amount of vermilion and white on the tackle.
And our public address announcer, Ed Tuna Perkins, just said a vast amount of red in on the tackle. Third and 6. 3 wide receivers to the right for Strong. Now going in motion is Campbell. He'll go to the left side as Strong calls for it. Looking that way, he'll throw it out, and Citizen can't handle it. Just off the hands. And that'll bring up a 4th down.
It's 4th down.
And another stop for the defense forces the punt.
Number 80 for Breezy with Hinton.
A little high for Citizen right there. Hits both of his hands, but goes right through him.
Penton back into punt. He's averaged 47 yards a kick on his 2 kicks so far tonight. Robert Williams, 0, is back deep. This one's high, a little bit end over end. Williams is going to take it on the run. Now he's going to pull away from it. Ball's going to bounce out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Nicely positioned. Cajuns will have a long way to go here on this possession. Louisiana football when we return. 2:01 left in period number 3. Cajuns lead the Cowboys 17-10. ESPN college football all in one place with the all-new ESPN app. Unlock it with the ESPN Unlimited plan or log in with your TV provider. 1st and 10 Cajuns at their own 15-yard line as we're right at the 2-minute mark of the third quarter, and a big hole for Bill Davis. And once again, he finds big daylight.
Flag.
But there's a flag back here behind the play, and this time the Cajuns may have gotten hit for a hold.
Holding, offense, number 71. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Repeat first down.
That time it was George Jackson who got called for the hold. And that nullified a big play. And he had the jersey wrapped up a little bit, and that helped Davis spring free some. Nullifies about a 20-yard gain. So now 1st, and we'll call it 13. Same play, this time not much. Gets some of the penalty yardage back, does Bill Davis. But that play might be enough to give him a 100-yard gain. Welland Williams, product of reserve and East St. John. He was a preseason all-conference way back in 2022. Senior defensive lineman. 2nd and 9 now for Louisiana. Beal with Davis in the backfield. Once again trying to power forward, and he is struggling for extra yards. He's going to wind up picking up about 5 or 6, and now he is definitely going to be over 100 yards tonight. Except there's a flag, and this time it's way back in the secondary. Did they see a hold from back there?
Maybe some post-whistle activity.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 6.
Oh, wow.
15-yard penalty added to the end of the run. First down.
And Mari Sibley, the junior from Zachary, transfer from South Alabama, gets hit for the face mask penalty as the Cowboys continue to kill themselves with penalties. There, right there at the bottom of the screen, you can see, yep, he's got hold of the face mask on the tight end. Might have been Caden Jensen he was trying to block, or Jensen was trying to block, or it might have been Trey Miller. Either one, you saw the hand in the mask. So another first down by penalty for Louisiana as they'll snap it from the 38. And again finding good running room.
Goes number 24, Stephen Blanco.
This time it's Stephen Blanco getting his first carry of the night. The redshirt freshman from just down the road in St. Martinville. And Mari Sibley's there to make the stop, but Stephen Blanco gets his first carry of his career.
Might have got away with a face mask too. Turned him around, no call.
One of the Cajun offensive linemen went limping off after the play. I did not catch the numbers. So
yeah, 79.
It might have been Mackie Mayo. Backup offensive guard. It'll be 1st and 10 for Louisiana when we come back. 15 minutes left in this one. It's been a good one. Cajuns 17, Cowboys 10. it might still be the most memorable single play in Louisiana football history. Brett Baer's 50-yard field goal on the final play of the 2011 R&L Carriers New Orleans Bowl. Cajuns making their first ever bowl appearance, and they go away with their first ever bowl win. And Brett Baer celebrates. He was honored as a member of the Louisiana Athletics Hall of Fame last night, but he did a lot more than just that field goal. He remains the most accurate kicker in NCAA history. 1st and 10 Cajuns. As we get started with quarter number 4, Stephen Blanco will get the call and he'll get the carry. And he'll be able to get forward for about 6 yards before Landon Barrett makes the stop. So Blanco now with a couple of carries. First carries of the year, first carries of his career for the St. Martinville product. 2nd and 4 from the 45. And he'll get the call once again, and he's going to pick up a first down and more. He's inside the 40. He's going to power forward to about the 37-yard line.
And up goes to number 24, Stephen Blanco.
How about the redshirt freshman, 5'9", 210.
Result of the play is another Louisiana.
Tony Gibson, one of the guys in there on the stop, along with Jermaine Hargraves.
Offensive line starting to impose their will, giving the running back a chance to make a play. Jumps over a defender there and moves the chains.
226 rush yards now for Louisiana. And Blanco's going to have some more. Inside the 35, he'll get down to about the 32. Another 5-yard pickup before Hargraves is there to make the tackle.
Now Davis back in.
Pick up a 5, 2nd and 5.
This drive started back at the 15-yard line. Beal will hand it off to Davis right up the middle again, and again good yardage. And the big Hogs still pushing him forward. Over the 25, down to about the 22-yard line. That's going to be a 10-yard gain and another first down.
Right up the middle, just winning the battle in the trenches. Nice pull there by the tight end also. I think that's Jensen comes across and opens up that hole too, seals him.
Caden Jensen, he says the coaches say he's got NFL ability because of the way he can catch, but more because he can move people around from the tight end spot. Davis going outside this time, and this time nothing doing. A lot of Cowboys right there. And Davis was snowed under. Philip Bradford was the first guy there out of Ouachita High School in Monroe, the junior. He had 3 tackles for loss and 1 sack last week against Louisiana Christian.
Blanco back in as Davis goes out after a couple of carries right there.
Loss of 3 yards. It'll be 2nd and 13. So far this drive almost exclusively on the ground. Blanco again. He is hit just at the 20-yard line. He'll get the lost yardage back and a couple more, but it will be 3rd and 8 Louisiana at the 20. Shoes Brinkley is the first guy there to make the hit.
3rd and 8.
Now Perry in at running back. He'll be in the pistol behind Beal. Now in motion as he goes out wide as wide receiver. Empty backfield.
Beal will call for it on 3rd and 8. He'll throw it over the middle, and that is going to be off the hands of Williams. So the Cowboy defense holds at the 20, and Louisiana will have a apparent field goal attempt. Tony Sterner made from 38 yards to end the second quarter. And he'll now be trying to make it a 2-score game. This one will be from 37. He's been good from 36, had a miss from 28 earlier. Snap is back, kick is up, and he's got it. 38 yards on the field goal from Sterner. And Louisiana adds to its lead. 10:41 left in this one. Cajuns lead it 20-10.
We'll see you back here at our league.
Tony Sterner's got 2 field goals for the Cajuns tonight. This one towed through from 38 yards away. Sterner, the reigning Sun Belt Special Teams Player of the Week. He made 2 field goals against Rice last week, 47 and 51 yards. Of course, he had big shoes to fill. Kenny Almendaris last year, all he did for Louisiana was win the Lou Groza Award as the nation's best kicker. 68 career field goals, a UL and a Sun Belt Conference record. He hit 27 of 29 last year. He was a weapon. Tony Sterner trying to become the same. Logan Klotz, the kickoff specialist, will put a foot into it. Jonathan Harris back deep for the Cowboys. Harris fumbles it at the 15. Now he's going to pick it up, and he is going to get hit. Sheds a couple of tackles, but finally run down inside the 20, and that was danger zone for the Cowboys.
Jonathan Harris, the first and 10 for the Cowboys.
Might have tried to run before he secured the football. He did break loose, but only picked up about 3 yards.
At the 17-yard line.
Dale Martin, the wide receiver, plays a lot on special teams. In fact, he's the special teams captain, taking over this year from Jake St. Andre. Was there to make the tackle. So McNeese will start deep in its own end of the field at the 17-yard line. Strong calls for the football. He's going to keep it himself. And he is going to be hit hard after a gain of only about 1 yard. Jaden Duggar is there to wrap him up after just a short game.
2nd and 9.
Strong is carried now 7 times in the game, but has a net of only 9 yards. He has done his damage throwing the football. 180 yards, 16 out of 23 throwing. And back to throw again. He's going to throw it deep. He's got a man. but was on the wrong shoulder.
Strong's pass incomplete, intended for number 12,
Matthew McAllister turned the wrong way, the product of West Monroe, who transferred from Louisiana Tech. Marion Eliam was back there running with him, but McAllister had some room, but the ball just went over the wrong shoulder.
Yeah, I think he thought he was going to go strong, thought he was going to go a little more toward that sideline. Maybe more of an over the left shoulder. McAllister was looking for it over his right.
3rd and a long 8 from the 18, maybe closer to 9 yards. Strong back to throw again, under some pressure, and gets away from the initial pressure, trying to survive the play, and now just gets rid of it. Throws it over the Cajun bench. He was out of the pocket, so no grounding. But the Cajun defense will force another punt.
Lafayette Roofing, the official roofing provider, your Louisiana Raging Cajun.
Strong did a good job just evading that initial rush.
Yeah, Coach Salgado dialing up that pressure again. He does such a good job. You don't know where they're coming from. They had a couple on the other side looking like they were going to blitz. And that was actually Clark's safety blitz. Gets him around the waist, unable to bring him down. And there you see Strong just throwing it away, and they'll have to punt.
Penton back into punt. He's averaged 46.7 so far tonight on his 3 kicks.
And Louisiana should get good field position here after the defense continues to play well. They come after.
Snap, a lot of pressure, and does get it away, but it's going to go out of bounds. Shanked it off the right side of his foot a little bit. Louisiana's going to have possession inside the Cowboy 40 at the 39-yard line. That's where they'll be when we come back. 9:34 left in this one. Louisiana with a 10-point advantage. The Cowboys had lost 4 straight season openers before taking that big 54-9 win over Louisiana Christian last week at home. They'll be headed back home next weekend. They'll be taking on Weber State, a 6 o'clock game. They'll go on the road to take on Utah State, and then after that, 8 in a row in Southland Conference play. They'll open up on the road in the conference against Stephen F. Austin. They'll be hosting Southeastern Louisiana, Houston Christian, Northwestern State, and Texas Rio Grande Valley in conference home games this year. Earlier today in the Southland, East Texas A&M got popped pretty good by Florida State, 77-3. Minnesota beat Northwestern State 66-0. And Eastern Kentucky defeated Houston Christian 20-5. So the Southland starts off 0-3 so far this week. It'll be first down for the Cajuns at the 40-yard line. Lunch Whitfield is back in the game as the Wildcat quarterback. The product of Letcher hands it off.
Zylan Perry on the carry.
Zylan Perry back in the game. He gets the call, and he'll pick up about 4 yards on first down. Whitfield, the redshirt sophomore. Carried it 5 times last year in limited appearance as the Wildcat. He'll take the direct snap this time, and he will be hit after picking up about 2 yards. So 3rd and 4 Louisiana at the 34-yard line. Whitfield will come off, and Beal will come back in on the 3rd and 4. Might have had a seam just for a second. Cowboys, though, did a good job of sealing that off. So Beal on 3rd and 4 has Perry in the backfield with him. Jensen goes in motion. Perry, he is hit just when he crosses the line of scrimmage. And he's going to be about 2 yards short of the first down. Cajuns are going to face another 4th down. Landon Barrett is there to make the tackle. This would be about a 49-yard field goal, and I think Louisiana's going to keep the offense out there.
They'll keep them out there, maybe run this all the way down as long as the clock's running. 2-score game. It's good for the home team. Let's see if they go hard count or if they actually snap it. Let this play clock run down, and I don't think they're going to snap it.
Beal will look to the sideline. Still 7 seconds on the play clock.
They'll call timeout.
And the Cajuns will take the timeout. 4th and 2 when we come back. 7:21 left at this one. Louisiana still leading by 10. Louisiana will be on the road the next 2 weeks. They'll travel up to play Missouri next week. Missouri rallied back to defeat Kansas today, 42-31. They'll play on the road at Eastern Michigan. Then they'll return here to Our Lady of the Lord Stadium to open up Sun Belt Conference play September 27th. They'll take on Marshall. 4th and 2. And Louisiana will keep the offense on the field. Perry will get the call. He is held up but makes the leapfrog again, and he picks up enough for the first down. That's 3 times now that Zylan Perry has run the 110-meter hurdles.
The result of the play is another Louisiana
And he's picked up a key first down as Louisiana keeps the clock running with 7 minutes left.
Big Jackson pushes him out, and Xylon is able to cut it up the field, and Perry jumps for the first down, moves the chains, also keeps that clock rolling.
1st and 10 at the 29. Davis will get the call. He'll take it outside. He'll find some running room. He's inside the 25. He'll spot him out at about the 22-yard line. And another big carry for the bulldozer, who's now got 122 yards rushing. Amari Sibley is there to make the tackle. Davis already has 2 touchdowns to go with what is a career high rushing.
And that play designed to go between the tackles. He bounces it outside and uses his speed for a nice gain on first down. Now Louisiana in no hurry.
Davis had 110 yards against Coastal Carolina last year. That was his previous career high. 2nd and short. Perry gets the call this time, again with running room. Check that. That was Davis once again. And he'll be down close to the 10-yard line. And Eric, you said it earlier, the Cajun offensive line has expressed itself here for much of the second half.
Yeah, and there's a new starter at center too, Cooper Fordham, doing a nice job. I talked to Coach Leger, said has a high football IQ, and he gets that front 4 or 5 in the right blocking schemes, whether they're blocking for a pass, blocking for a run, but they've done a nice job of opening holes for these running backs, especially Davis.
Well, he's got the background. His dad, Todd, played for almost a decade as an offensive tackle in the NFL. 1st and 10. Perry. This time he has to wait for something to develop, and it doesn't. He'll be stopped for maybe a loss of 1 yard. Good pursuit that time by the Cowboy defense, led by Ryan Robinson. The New Orleans product from Edna Carr, transfer from LSU. Actually, he's been at 3 different schools. He also played last year. He redshirted at Iowa State before coming to the Cowboys.
Perry out, Davis back in as they continue to rotate those 2 guys. And then Blanco, the redshirt freshman, like you mentioned, getting a few carries and positive yards tonight. Keeping fresh running backs in there at all times. Nice to have 2 big timers and then 1 young one, with Whitfield in at quarterback now.
Luntz will get the direct snap. He'll go on the outside to the right side and get down to about the 10-yard line. Pickup of about 4 yards. Loses his helmet, so he'll have to come out of the ball game. Would have probably come out anyway on 3rd and 7 as Barrett is there to make the tackle. Daniel Beal will come back in on the 3rd down.
And they stop the clock after the helmet comes off. Now they wind it. Clock is rolling as we approach 4 minutes to play in this one. Perry in.
3rd and about 8. Beal back to throw. He'll roll to the right. He's going to flip it in the end zone and making the catch. Right at the goal line.
To number 85, Landon Baptiste. The result of the play.
That's Landon Strother. No, check that. Landon Baptiste. I started to give it credit to the St. Thomas More product. Actually, it was the Southside High product making the grab. His 2nd collegiate catch, and it comes for a touchdown for the redshirt sophomore.
Nice.
And what about
action.
Beal being patient and finding an open receiver?
Number 95, Tony Sterner.
The Southside Sharks, who opened their brand new stadium just a couple of nights ago. Sterner's PAT is up and good.
3:48 to go.
3:48 left in this one. The Cajuns build the lead to 17 points. And unless the Cowboys have a miracle in their pocket, Louisiana's going to wipe out a little bit of the disappointment of that opening loss to Rice. And here's another look at it as Beal, you can see him surveying the field and finding Baptiste cutting across the middle.
Yeah, and that's what happens when you're able to run the ball. You saw a lot of eyes in the backfield thinking Perry was going to get it. Beal pulls it, has a couple of receivers on that side, throws it up. Tatis goes up with 2 hands, brings it in, and gets it into the end zone. And that may be the dagger for the Cowboys in this one.
Beal 14 out of 22 throwing the football, only 86 yards, but he does have the touchdown now and has done a good job of controlling this Cajun offense that has really put it on the ground here in the second half. Louisiana now with 280 rushing yards in the game. They had 161 in the first half, another 119 here in the second half. Logan Klotz will be kicking it off, and he'll send it over to the left side. That's going to go out of bounds. And the Cowboys will start in pretty good field position with the penalty on the kickoff. They'll start it out at the 35-yard line.
Yeah, and a lot of credit to the offensive line. You know, you got a new
Free kick out of bounds, kicking team. By rule, the ball will be placed at the 35-yard line. First down.
New starter in there tonight. You'd love to be able to run the ball. The offensive line has allowed those running backs to do that, especially Davis. And then the play action will get that rush to sit back just a little bit. Keep an eye on those running backs. And then Beal's done a nice job of throwing the ball when he's had to.
.280 yards rushing for the Cajuns on 44 carries. That's an average of right at 6.5 yards per carry. First and 10 Cowboys at the 35 as Strong back to throw. He'll throw it over the middle off the hands on the crossing route. He was looking for the tight end, Logan Malden. Jalen Clark was the closest guy chasing the Cajun safety.
Coach Salgado being aggressive, knowing they have to throw the ball. Actually rushed 6 that time, had a couple linebackers blitz right up the middle, forced a quick throw and an inaccurate throw.
Second and 10 from the 35. The quick out this time, making the catch, is Josh Jackson. Quick gain of about 6 yards. I did get a chance to talk about Logan Malden, the tight end for the Cowboys. Interesting guy. He is already a published author. He has already published a couple of children's books that he wrote back in his high school days, and says that he wants to do a little more writing once his football career is over. You know, I have the soft spot in my heart for writers. Third and a long 3 over the middle. Catch is made, but it's going to be short of the first down to Jesse Campbell. And now the Cowboys have a 4th and a long 1 to try to keep any hope alive. Marion Eliam made the tackle. They got to get almost to the 45-yard line in order to pick up a first down. Strong will take the snap. He's looking to throw under some pressure, gets away from the sack, and he is going to pick up a first down and power his way on, and a little extracurricular on the sideline, but nothing called as Strong put his head down and picked up a first down. Again, did a great job of evading the pressure and making it into a positive play.
Yeah, I think that was Williams on a blitz from the end, wraps him up. Here he comes. Nobody blocks him, gets him around the waist, and Jake strong enough to spin out of it and sprints, puts his head down for a little extra yardage. You got to love that out of your quarterback, just fighting for yards, trying to keep his team alive.
First and 10 at the 48. As we come close to the 2-minute mark, the Cowboys will get the snap off before the 2-minute. Throw over the middle, it's incomplete, and is it intercepted? Will they give it to him?
Yes.
Yes, they will. Tyree Skipper. 4 interceptions last year. He just picked up another one.
Ruling on the
And it
field
will
is
be
intercepted
Cajun
by the
football
defense.
when we come
This
back.
is the 2-minute
1:56
timeout.
left in this one. Cajuns lead it 27-10. My partner Eric Mouton says no interception on this. Replay is going to go take a look at it. You see the ball bouncing off the hands. Woo. Tyree Skipper tried to make the diving catch. The native of New Orleans, who's on the watch list for the Jim Thorpe Award and the Chuck McNarick Award.
Is that close?
First team preseason All Sun Belt Conference.
Live, it looked like to me he picked it off the turf, but that ball is so close to the turf. He makes an unbelievable play to at least come up with it on the field. Let's see what the review booth says.
4 interceptions last year, 3 in his sophomore year. Does he get his 8th career pick? Well, we will wait.
The decision is in.
After review, it's an incomplete pass. The defender did not catch the ball cleanly. The ball hit the ground. It'll be second down at the previous location.
So my partner was right once again. No INT. Cowboys will have possession again. It will be 2nd and 10. Right about midfield. You get one more look at it, and oh, so close, but
grazes the turf. Yes.
Yep. Another look from farther down, and I think you got a good look, not from that angle, but from that other angle, that he did bop a little bit. Ball did hit the turf. So Cowboys still have life with 1:56 left in this one. But they need a miracle. Down 17. Jake Strong's been very solid, 18 out of 29, 189 yards, but 1 interception late in the first half, and that really turned the momentum in this game. So he'll have it 2nd and 10 from the 48. Now under some pressure, loses the football.
Now that's a Raider turnover.
And I don't think they're going to pull
Ruling
this one
on the
back
field,
on
it's a
replay.
fumble recovered by the defense.
Ashton Wright, the redshirt freshman from Mobile.
Recovering the ball on that Raider
Played in 5 games last year, saved his redshirt season. And he comes up with the fumble recovery, and Strong just lost it. You know, the ball's probably wet with sweat at this point, and when he tried to throw back across his body.
Dan, that was Williams that pressured him. Maxie Baudouin recovered that fumble. Maxie Baudouin from Ascension Episcopal and went to Tulane, transferred back with Coach Desimo, and he recovers that fumble.
Okay, Wright caused the fumble.
Yes,
Baudouin
yes.
had the recovery. The Tulane product. Played nose tackle last year. Converted that in a big hole for Blanco. He's going to break a tackle, and he's going to get into the end zone.
Wow! Exclamation point.
The redshirt freshman from St. Martinville finds a hole.
A big hole, makes a guy miss, breaks a tackle, takes it into the end zone, and that will do it.
Eric, you can almost see on that play, this is a very tired McNeese defense.
No doubt about it. Big
they
hole,
have played
right?
a lot of snaps here in the second half.
Ooh, a little stiff arm runs him over.
For the Cajuns, number 95,
Gets away from Shoes Brinkley to get it in the end zone for his first career touchdown, as Sterner will be on to tack on the extra point.
Big is up and good.
139 left in this one. Cajuns now lead it by 24. And if you're a particular type of college football fan, that was a big touchdown. Given that the spread was 20. Of course, that's just information purposes only.
Yes,
but look
indeed.
at the hole that was provided there. Tell you what, another big-time block, Jax Harrington, the redshirt senior from Erath, had a good job on sealing it off. Harrington's played over 2,100 snaps in his career. That's a lot of pounding against defensive linemen.
Teaming up for the Cajuns, number 40, Logan Klotz.
Logan Klotz will come on to kick it away. It's pretty much academic now with 1:39 left. This one's going to be right down the middle, handled at about the 7-yard line. And a little running room on the right side for Jonathan Harris. He's going to be run out of bounds. It will be Cowboy football with just over 90 seconds left in this one.
At their 21.
McNeese will head back home. Weber State next weekend. That's a 6 o'clock game. Cajuns will go on the road. They'll take on Missouri out of the SEC in the first of 2 straight road games to wrap up the non-conference seasons. Both of these 2 teams with 2 non-conference games left before they'll play their last 8, all in the conference wars. Jake Strong still in at quarterback. A little flip on the wide receiver, come around, and
Ruling on the field as the runner was down prior to the ball becoming loose. 2nd down.
Big hit by Cortland Flowers over on the sideline. I think it was Cam Senegal who took the little pop pass, little flip pass to him in the front. Pickup of 2 yards as we hit the 1-minute mark. Finding a little bit of a seam up the middle. This is the junior Jalen Thompson seeing his first action of the night. The product of California, former junior college All-American. Drennan Fight there to make the tackle. Thompson had 1,100 yards, 6 touchdowns last year for Ventura College in California. Getting a chance to see some action tonight. 3rd and about 4. Shifty move and picking up the first down. That's again Thompson. Clock will stop momentarily for the ball to be placed and the change to be set. It'll be at the 33-yard line. And the clock's running. Could well be our final play of the ball game, depending on what happens here. As Strong will take the snap. He'll hand it off again to Thompson. And he will push forward. He'll get some positive yardage. But the clock is going to run out. And Louisiana is going to rid itself of some of the disappointment from last week's loss to Rice as they take a win in this one by a score of 34-10. And you see 2 very good friends meeting at midfield. Michael Desormeaux for the Cajuns and Matt Viator for the Cowboys. They actually coached together here on the UL staff for about 3 years. We'll be back to Our Lady of Lord's Stadium and talk to our player of the game. No surprise who that will be. Cajuns win this one by a score of 34-10. back at Our Lady of Lourdes Stadium, where Louisiana's taken a 34-10 win over McNeese. No surprise who our player of the game is. Bill Davis, the bulldozer, with a career-high 132 yards, a couple of touchdowns, and he is with Ben Schaefer.
Right in the middle.
Thank you, Dan. Bill, career high rushing tonight, 2 touchdowns. It's only the second game of the season, but you're playing like it's a championship. What was working for the offense tonight?
Oh, man, just the running game, you know. That was just the thing that was working, man. Man, we had full confidence in Daniel and Lunch, man, just whoever was going out there. You know, I know we kind of started off slow, but, you know, man, we picked it up. This is a good team in McNeese, bro. You know what I'm saying? This is a rival that go way back. So, man, I'm just so glad, you know, we bounced back from last week against Rice, man, a disappointing loss. So, you know, I'm just super excited and proud of the guys, man. And like I said, I just want to keep this thing going. We got Missouri next week, so can't be too happy, but, you know, celebrate tonight's win, but know the next opponent.
When you talked about Daniel and Lunch, when you guys found out that Walker wouldn't be playing tonight, how did the team rally around those guys? Man,
just the next guy up. You know, that's all the thing the coaches preach is because, you know, football is a physical game. Anything can happen. So, you know, man, we got full confidence in Daniel and Lunch, bro. Like, those are 2 dogs, 2 guys that want to win. That's the thing I love about them. And it's just, you know, as soon as Walker went down, I just know we was upset. You know, but, you know, man, I got so much confidence in Daniel. You know, man, every time I was like, bro, Daniel, I got you, brother. I got you, Daniel. And, you know, when Lunch went in there a couple plays, I'm like, hey, Lunch, I got you, brother. I got you. So, you know, man, just giving them that confidence, like just knowing, like, you know, the guys got their back, man. I think that's the thing they need to hear.
Bill, congratulations on the win. Thank you for joining us.
Got you. Thank you. Thank y'all.
Dan, Eric, back to you guys.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Ben. Eric, the Cajuns had 151 rush yards last week against Rice. Tonight, 314 yards on the ground, part of a 400-yard total offense night.
Offensive line dominated. You have a 2-headed monster in Perry and Davis, and remember the name, Stephen Blanco, little coming out party at running back tonight. Great job by Beal orchestrating this offense. Defense played well and tackled tonight also.
The bulldozer with 2 touchdowns, and the Cajuns erupt late. They end up winning this one by a score of 34-10. With the win, the Cajuns improved to 1-1. They'll be on the road next week. They'll travel to play Missouri. McNeese's Cowboys fall to 1-1. They'll head back home next weekend to take on Weber State. Once again, our final score here from Our Lady of Lourdes Stadium: Louisiana 34, McNeese 10. For our spotter extraordinaire, Steve Peliquin, and our halftime and sideline reporter, Ben Schaefer, and for my partner, Eric Luton, I'm Dan McDonald. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.